dark figures moving through the woods. Eerie voices heard at night. And strange shadows appearing out of nowhere. These aren't just stories anymore.
Oh my god, what did I say?
People have captured what they call the most disturbing evidence of real witches. So gather your courage, because who knows, a witch might be standing right behind you. Some places conceal things that should never be seen, and one man learned this the hard way. Inside an old, abandoned building, he spotted a woman. She was thin, almost skeletal. He wanted to believe she was ordinary, but before he could even process what he was seeing, she began to rise into the air, as if gravity no longer applied to her. That's when it hit him. This wasn't just any apparition, it was La Llorona, the legendary weeping woman of Mexican folklore. He didn't wait to find out what happened next. He turned and ran, never stepping foot near that building again. Missing hikers' footage. In the early 2000s, rangers searching for a missing hiker stumbled upon an abandoned camera deep in the forest. Curious to know the owner, they played the videos it recorded, and what they saw was terrifying. One of the videos showed the hiker running for his life, while a man covered in black was chasing him. Then, more of such black clot-covered people appeared silently to get him. Running with full speed, the man eventually lost control, and we lost the footage. It seemed like he was dragged away for some evil ritual, and he left the camera for people to track him down. Unfortunately, things didn't go according to his plan, and the investigators could never find him. Tour scary visit. A tourist staying in a hotel heard a strange noise outside. Curious, he walked to the window, and that's when he saw it. A black shadow sitting on a bus. At first, it didn't seem real, but then the witchy figure began moving. When the footage reached the online community, gained attention. Some believed it was the Grim Reaper coming to take him away. Others believe it was a shadow following him because that hotel was haunted. But with the ending abruptly, we could never know what it was. Crawling lady. A man returned to his old home after years, expecting nothing but memories. Instead, he found something horrifying. As he stepped inside, he saw a lady crawling toward him from the window. Her face was hidden, and her movements were paranormal, as if she wanted to say, "This place no longer belongs to you. It belongs to me." He ran and never looked back. But from that night on, strange things started happening in the town. It appeared as if he had awakened something that should have never been disturbed. Grave disturbance. A paranormal investigator decided to check out a haunted forest. Bad idea. As he walked around, he found something strange. A huge hole in the ground, almost like a grave. That's when he felt it. A presence. Something was near. Trusting his instincts, he started reciting holy verses. And then, it happened. A dark figure slowly rose from the hole. A jinn. He had disturbed something ancient. Without thinking twice, he ran away. When he glanced back, the figure had already disappeared into the hole. Church of No Return. A teenager, out of curiosity, entered an abandoned church despite the locals' warnings. They told him no one who went in ever came out, but he didn't listen. Inside, his flashlight revealed only dusty benches. The silence felt heavier with every second.
Hello?
Then he whispered hello and saw her. A nun, sitting still and was staring right at him. That was the last time anyone saw him. He never returned, and no one dared to enter the church to find him. The locals believe the place holds a dark secret, because whoever steps inside never finds their way out. Lady on Road. In 2013, during a road trip in Ohio, a family encountered a strange woman standing by their car. Her face was pale, and she was asking for help. Something about her felt off, and the family was scared. The video capturing the moment ended abruptly, but the family managed to make a safe exit. Later, they got to know that years ago, the lady's girl got missing. She searched endlessly, but never found her and passed away on this road. To this day, her spirit is said to stop passing cars, still looking for the child she lost. Police encounter. During a routine patrol in Saudi Arabia, police officers noticed a woman standing alone on the road. But as they approached, things took a terrifying turn. She suddenly started moving toward their car, making eerie noises. Her steps were unnatural, almost floating. Then they noticed something chilling, a stick in her hand. That's when they knew there was no way back. Some say it was just a woman, but many believe the truth is far scarier. A witch had chosen them for some evil ritual. Demonic witch. An explorer in the mountains heard strange noises nearby. As he got closer, he saw 3 horrifying figures. A witch with a deformed face sat on the ground, while 2 horned beasts stood behind her like guards. The air felt heavy, charged with something dark and unnatural. Were these demons drawn to the witch's sinister energy? This was the last video he ever recorded. The camera survived, but he didn't. Faceless bride. This road hides a terrifying secret, one that only appears at night. A man was driving through a quiet village at night when he spotted someone standing by the roadside. At first, he thought it was just a villager, but as he got closer, he realized something was off. The figure was a woman in a white dress, but her face was almost like she had no features at all. Without wasting a second, he hit the gas and sped away. Locals say the road is haunted by a bride-to-be who had a tragic accident there. Maybe she's still waiting for the wedding that never happened. Girl swinging. A tourist visited a quiet village expecting a peaceful night, but what he saw became a memory he'd never forget. In a field, he noticed a girl in a white frock swinging from a tree. At first, it seemed innocent, until she suddenly jumped. Her posture became scary. Her glowing eyes locked onto him. That's when he realized she wasn't human. He ran and made a safe escape. Later, the villagers told him the truth. It was the ghost of a girl who had passed away while playing in the field. The field was her playing field, so she never left it, and haunts the people who invade the territory. Haunted cave. A paranormal investigator visited a cave known for its haunted past, hoping to communicate with spirits, but something else was waiting for him. A tall black figure stood in the darkness. He tried speaking to it, but no response. He threw sand, even reached out to touch it, but nothing made it move. That's when he realized it wasn't just a spirit, it was a jinn. Understanding the risk, he quickly sat down and began praying. No one knows what happened next, but let's hope he made a safe escape. Forest mermaid. A forest official was on his regular patrol when he spotted something he thought was an animal, but as he got closer, he realized it had a tail and the body of a lady. It looked like a mermaid, but in the forest? That didn't make sense. This was no ordinary creature. It was a cryptid being, something unknown to science. Now, it's clear that mermaids aren't the only ones with such appearances. Strange beings do exist. Soon after, officials sealed off the area, making sure no one else would discover what he had seen. Twisted Walker. A man heading home decided to take a shortcut. But that road was not meant for him. As he drove, he saw a man walking ahead, but something was off. His legs were bent unnaturally, twisting as he moved. He looked possessed. The moment he sensed the car, he turned and started walking toward it. Fear took over. The driver didn't think twice. He reversed and got out of there. The video later surfaced on social media, and forest officials claimed the area was haunted by the spirit of a colleague officer, one who never stopped patrolling even after passing away. Haunted Road. A man was driving home when he noticed a girl sitting on a tree. At first, it seemed strange. How did she even get up there? But as he looked closer, he saw her pale face and unnatural movements. She wasn't just a girl, but she was a ghost. After witnessing this, the man ran. Locals believe she was a bride-to-be who lost her life in a tragic accident on that very road. Her restless spirit is said to haunt the area. After that incident now, no one dares to drive there alone. Lady on Tree. A hiker was in the forest when he noticed something unsettling. A woman standing on top of a towering tree. It didn't make sense. No human could balance like that, let alone climb up there without any support. The figure was in a long gown, moving as if she was staring right at him. Locals believe the forest is home to wandering spirits, since many have heard cries echoing through the trees at night. As he watched, the man heard a strange wailing sound too, which meant all of what the locals were telling him was true. Shadow warning. A ghost hunter entered an abandoned building, ready to capture proof of the unknown, but he wasn't ready for what he found. A black figure moved in the shadows, slow and deliberate, almost like it was warning him to leave. He stayed. And that's when reality hit hard. This wasn't just a shadow, but was a djinn. The video cut off, but those who saw it knew one thing. Some places aren't meant to be explored, and when the unseen gives a warning, it's best to listen. Cursed spirits. Villagers were tired of the eerie noises echoing through the night. Determined to find the source, they set up a camera. What it captured was terrifying. A shadowy figure appeared, then another came, both moving paranormally. But when the villagers reviewed the footage, they realized these weren't children from their village. These were spirits cursed by a witch long ago, trapped in that place. The camera proved one thing: what was once forgotten had returned, and now the village would never be the same again. Cave dwellers. A camper in the forest came across a cave, but this was not a normal one. Inside, he saw some men, but they were not like us. Very different. Upon seeing them with focus, he began to wonder if they were demons or even skinwalkers. Terrified, the camper didn't stick around to figure it out. He ran without looking back, knowing he had seen something he wasn't supposed to. It's better to stay away from unknown caves in the forest. You never know what might be inside. Silent ritual. In England, a girl was recording her dance in an abandoned area near her house. Everything seemed normal until the recorder noticed something disturbing. A group of people stood in a perfect circle, heads down, completely still. They weren't moving, not even slightly. It was as if they were under some kind of trance. The girl quickly ended the recording, too scared to stay any longer. Some believe they were possessed by an unseen force, while others think it was part of a secret ritual. Ghostly watcher. Moving into a new apartment is exciting until you realize you're not alone. Two girls were enjoying their time when one of them noticed something strange in the doorway. A ghostly figure floating in the air was peeking at them.
Are you sure? I don't think so. What's that?
When they followed it, the figure vanished and then reappeared at the top of the stairs, staring right at them. Terrified, they ran outside, but when they looked back, the ghost girl was now in the top floor window. In a blink, she appeared on the bottom floor. That was enough. They ran and never looked back.
Up there! It's gone!
Oh my god. What did I say?
It's gone!
Road nightmare. Late-night drives can be fun until they turn into nightmares. A group of friends took a risky route through an abandoned road. Halfway through, they hit the brakes. A terrifying figure stood ahead, its body twisted, face bent, and crouched on all fours. Then it moved, slowly creeping toward them. The video ended before showing what happened next. Did they escape, or did it get them? No one knows. One thing's for sure, you might think twice before driving down an abandoned road at night. Cliff entity. Some adventures are better left unexplored. A group of YouTubers ventured out to capture the perfect night view. As they moved deeper, they spotted someone standing on a cliff. Curious, they zoomed in. What they saw was no human. Its face was red, its eyes glowing, watching them without a single movement. Was it a djinn or something far worse? The video ended without answers, but one thing is certain: some things in the night are not meant to be seen. Horned demons. A paranormal investigator went alone into an abandoned building, determined to find proof of the unknown. But as he stepped further inside, he froze. Two terrifying figures with horns stood against the wall, watching him. These seemed to be demons who had claimed this place. Things got more serious. Then, without warning, a ghostly girl appeared right beside him. That was it. He didn't wait a second. He turned and ran. Honestly, probably the best decision he ever made. Dancing horror. A man was relaxing on his balcony when he noticed something eerie. An old lady was dancing in the street, her movement strangely familiar. At first, it seemed harmless, until he realized she was moving just like the Serbian dancing lady, the one people say chases you if you get too close. But that wasn't the scariest part. A creepy figure in a black robe stood in front of her, mirroring every move. It didn't look human. It almost seemed like it was controlling her. The whole thing felt unreal, like a scene from a horror movie. Field Phantom. A viral video has been scaring everyone who watches it. Someone recorded a strange figure standing still in an open field. At first, it looked like a statue or one of those scarecrows used to keep birds away. But suddenly, the figure moved. As the camera zoomed in, things became clear. It was covered in a white shroud, its form barely visible underneath. Many believe it was a pocong, the legendary ghost from Indonesia said to be the spirit of the dead still wrapped in its burial shroud. Whatever it was, one thing is certain: you wouldn't want to see this in person. Headless Witch. In November 2019, near Rajar in Bangalore, India, a biker captured something terrifying on his GoPro. As he rode down a quiet road at night, he noticed a woman walking ahead, but something was wrong. She seemed to have no head. Scared, he sped past, only to glance back and see nothing. She had vanished. Later, when he reviewed the footage, he realized her head was covered in a dark robe, making her look like a headless witch. Forest Watcher. A local was out for a morning jog near the woods when something unsettling caught his eye. A tall figure in a black dress standing eerily still. He zoomed in with his camera to have a clear look, and that's when the real horror hit him. The figure's face was completely white, featureless, and unnatural, almost like a ghostly entity. But the worst part? It wasn't just standing there, it was watching him, as if tracking his every move. If this thing was following him, then his peaceful jog was about to take a terrifying turn. River haunting. Villagers were tired of the eerie voices echoing from the river every night. Determined to find the source, they finally gathered the courage to check. As they peered into the dark waters, they spotted something unnatural, a pale, human-like face staring back at them. But as they focused, their fear deepened. The figure had a long, fish-like tail. It looked just like a mermaid, but something about it felt wrong. Was it a cursed spirit trapped in the river, or something even more sinister? Whatever it was, the villagers never dared to return after that night. Ritual Shadow.
Baby blue, blue baby, Baby blue.
This lady was performing a fertility ritual, hoping for good fortune. But it seemed she summoned something far darker. As she focused on the ritual, out of nowhere, a ghostly figure peeked at her from behind a wall.
Baby blue. Blue baby. Baby blue.
She felt uneasy, so uneasy that she struggled to continue. And just like that, the figure vanished. But before she could even catch her breath, it appeared right behind her. Perhaps she wasn't the only one taking part in that ritual. Dark Watchers. A man was driving down an empty road in America when he saw a figure standing by the roadside. The figure wore a black coat and held a briefcase. Oh! As soon as the headlights hit him, he rushed away. But then, more figures appeared. Identical men in black, each carrying a briefcase. In the distance, a fire blazed as if something had just exploded. It looked like a dark ritual was taking place. Were they summoning something? Some believe they were the legendary Dark Watchers, mysterious figures known to appear in remote areas. The man managed to escape, but one thing is certain, he was never supposed to see them. Floating terror. A couple went on a long drive, enjoying the quiet night, until they saw something ahead. A strange figure stood by the roadside, wrapped in a white cloth, as if trying to hide. At first, they thought it was just a lost traveler, but then it started moving, slowly approaching them. Its movements were unnatural, almost floating.
Babe, what is that?
Panic set in as they cautiously reversed the car, trying to put distance between them and the eerie figure. Finally, they sped away, leaving the terrifying sight behind. It seemed to be a witch or a wandering spirit, something they were never meant to encounter.
Babe, I'm serious, get away, I'm being serious. What the is that?
Witch encounter.
Va a volar, compa. Va a volar, compa, comparta. Quiere volar, compa.
Authorities were searching for a thief in the woods, but they stumbled upon something far more terrifying. A dark figure in a black robe was perched on top of a car, completely still, yet disturbingly present. As they moved closer, it became clear it looked like a witch. As if she was preparing to take off on a broom. But something was off. She didn't move, as if she had lost her power. Then the video cut off. What happened next remains a mystery.
Va a volar, compa. Va a volar, compa, comparta. Quiere volar, compa.
Road Phantom. A group of bikers was riding through a lonely road when they spotted a girl walking alone. They slowed down, teasing her as they passed, but then she turned. Her face was bright red, her eyes dark and menacing. It wasn't human. The bikers panicked, realizing they had messed with something unnatural. Before they could react, the figure started moving toward them. The video ended without showing what happened next. But one thing is clear, this was no ordinary girl. Maybe a lost spirit, or something even worse. Cursed Village.
Hold!
Locals in town witnessed something truly bizarre. A deformed, eerie figure floating above the ground. It wasn't a bird, nor any known creature. The way it moved, slow and unnatural, made it clear this was something else. A dark entity, perhaps, taking an unexplainable form.
Hold!
Some believed it was a spirit, while others feared it was a bad omen. The town had already been plagued with strange occurrences, with many reporting paranormal activity. Now, with this eerie sighting, one thing was certain. The town's haunting wasn't just a rumor. Cult ritual. This strange clip has left many unsettled. A group of robed men responded to their names being called by raising their hands in a disturbing salute before proceeding to sacrifice a chicken. Between the roll call and the eerie ritual, they engaged in ceremonial chanting, then smeared the chicken's blood onto one another. The purpose of the ritual remains unknown, but whatever was happening, it wasn't something ordinary. Some speculate they were part of a secret cult, while others believe they were neo-Nazis engaging in some kind of twisted ceremony. Ghostly scream. A group of YouTubers decided to explore a graveyard, hoping to catch something paranormal on camera. As they walked around, they spotted a strange hole covered with something. At first, it just looked like an old grave, but as they got closer, things took a terrifying turn. A ghostly woman suddenly appeared and started screaming. That's when they noticed candles burning inside the hole, like some kind of ritual had just been interrupted. Maybe they disturbed a witch in the middle of something dark. Creepy intruder.
So I kept on finding food missing in my apartment that I knew I wasn't eating. So I decided I'm going to set up a video camera and I'm going to catch her. This is what I found.
A homeowner started noticing food missing from his kitchen. To find the culprit, he installed a camera, and what the CCTV captured left him horrified. In the dead of night, a woman crawled down from the attic. She moved slowly, almost too carefully, as if she knew she was being watched. Silently, she opened the fridge, took what she needed, and went back into her secret hideout. The man showed the footage to the police, who later arrested the woman. But the real question is, how long had she been living there without him knowing? Mysterious hand. They say kids can see things adults can't, and this might just prove it. A family was enjoying their day when the parents noticed something strange. Their little girl stood still, next to someone. But here's the scary part. There was only a long, stretched hand visible. No human could have a hand that long. The girl got scared and ran back to her parents. The place was haunted, and locals say it was an evil spirit that haunt children. I bet the girl wasn't able to sleep that night. Legends are back. A camper in the jungle spotted a figure staring at him. It was covered in fur and standing still. At first, he thought it was a gorilla, but things got clear when he zoomed in. It was the legendary Sasquatch. Terrified, he ran to the forest officials, expecting answers. But sadly, he was asked to stay quiet. This means even the experts know they exist, but the world isn't supposed to know. But no matter how hard they tried, the truth couldn't be hidden forever. The secret is out. Folklore creatures aren't just myths anymore now. Disappearing witch. The streets of Bogota have seen many strange things, but this one is truly terrifying. A woman in torn clothes was caught on multiple CCTV cameras, walking slowly with her head down. Then, in an instant, she was gone. Not in one or two cameras, as every camera showed the same thing. No glitch, no trick. Just gone. She has made her way to town, and the cameras have already caught her. Who knows where she'll appear next, but the town is on high alert. Haunted woman. A local was walking through an abandoned place when he spotted a woman standing alone in the corner. At first, he thought she needed help, but as he stepped closer, a strange feeling crept over him. Her face. It was unsettling, almost unnatural. A heavy, dark presence felt to him, making it hard to breathe. It felt like she was possessed, as if something else was controlling her. The guy didn't think twice. He turned and ran as fast as he could, never looking back. Would you have the courage to stand there, or would you turn and run like he did? Drone discovery. Teenagers were flying a drone to capture breathtaking views of nature, but what they recorded was beyond shocking. The drone's camera caught 3 people, all wearing masks and gowns, chanting in a strange rhythm as if performing some eerie ritual.
Yo, hurry, bro, hurry. Dude, hurry, what are you doing?
Dude, what the hell is that?
Bro, those are people.
Yo, they're moving. Dude, that's literally people in the middle of the field.
As the drone moved closer, it suddenly lost balance, almost crashing. But before the footage cut off, the 3 figures formed a perfect triangle on the ground. Were they linked to the Illuminati? Or was it something even darker? Whatever the truth was, one thing is certain. Those teenagers probably didn't sleep peacefully that night. And now, let us move on towards our subscribers' pick of the day. Driving through a remote road at night, a guy spotted something levitating in front of his car. It was a dark, robed figure suspended in midair. It wasn't moving, yet it felt like it was watching him. People who saw the footage said it looked just like a Dementor from Harry Potter, a creature that drains happiness. The guy described it as same. The moment he passed under it, an unbearable sadness hit him, lingering for days. Whatever that thing was, it didn't just haunt the road. It haunted him. And taking this route became the worst decision of his life.